Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we discuss a 2023 launch from Grand Seiko. This is the Spring Drive GMT SBGE295. It is inspired by the Hotaka Peaks, the mountain range outside of the studio in Shiojiri, up in Nagano Prefecture, where this watch is made. So the peaks in the summer are verdant, and thus we have this lush green dial and a corresponding bezel to celebrate the imagery of northern Japan. The watch in steel is large. It is 44 millimeters in diameter, 14.8 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 51 millimeters, and from end link to end link, the total distance across the wrist is 53.1 millimeters, and we've got a 21 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. It's a substantial watch. There's no doubt about that. In fact, we may even bring in Sammy the scale to do a weigh-in, because I think you'll be impressed by how robust this timepiece is. And there you go. 184 and about 0.73 grams if you subtract the tag. So a hefty watch. If you want a watch that feels expensive, this definitely fits the bill. Throwing this Japanese-made watch on my wrist. It looks good, it feels good. I'd recommend it for a wrist my size or larger, but probably not smaller. It's thinner than you'd think, and you can see it does wear just fine. It looks good, it feels good. I would have no reservations about wearing this watch, but if you have a smaller wrist, there are smaller Grand Seiko GMTs, and I would probably steer you towards those. Here's your down the barrel, where you can see that the lugs are in fact inboard of the edge of my wrist, and the cuff shot once more. The bracelet, nicely made. You can see it's got a 3-link design with staggered link alignment, size, and differential finish. It's a little bit of a bevel down the side of the links. They're polished on their outer faces. You can see we've got removable links fixed by screws, including an intermediate sized link, and that on both sides of the clasp. Also, 4 sets of drillings in the clasp, so you can dismount the spring bar, change the anchor point, fine-tune the fit. Grand Seiko logo. Here we have brushed, polish, and satin-finished metal. Thick gauge steel, single folding swing arm, double trigger release, so it can't open accidentally. And Grand Seiko, even on some fairly deluxe micro artist studio watches, still includes strap tool holes in the lugs in case you want to swap. And that's easy to dismount a spring bar. So, hey, if you are interested in strap swapping, Grand Seiko is the ultimate enabler at the luxury level, still giving you this kind of feature on a high-end watch. The case is surprisingly watertight for a GMT, 200 meters with a screw-down crown, and then you can see the famed Zaratsu tin plate polish on the side of these cases, done with hand and eye coordination and skill. It is a expertise-intensive process that requires about 3 years to master, and this mirror polishing done on Zalitz machines, ultimately of European origin, but the foremost practitioners of this type of hand-executed mirrored finish are the folks at Grand Seiko these days. We also have some lovely satin to contrast, and an off-centered crown that makes this a universally ambidextrous watch, no matter how oddly your wrist is shaped. Taking a look at the bezel, you can see bidirectional rotating, and let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an unconventional type of bezel, so I'll try to get this so you can hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so a little bit of an unconventional 6x12 type deal, so a 72-click bezel with 24 hours included. And that's sort of the idea. You will line up your local hour hand to display your local times. We'll demonstrate how all of this works. Now that's hacking seconds. That allows me to change my local hour and jump the date forward or backwards, depending on which way I'm traveling, east or west. And with hacking seconds, what I can do is I can set my 24-hour hand, which is an independent time zone. Once I've got that set, then I'll set my local hour. And what I'll do, assuming I've set that 24-hour hand to a Greenwich Mean Time, is I can offset from Greenwich Mean Time using the sapphire capped bezel. So let's say I'm going to a place that is GMT plus 4. So I'm going to go counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am going to a place, an airport of destination, where it is 10 a.m. Now let's go back to everything's set to Greenwich Mean Time. Let's say I'm going to a place that's GMT -3. So I'm going to turn back 1, 2, 3. And so where I am is going to be 3 a.m. So I've got 6 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 10 a.m. if I'm going to a place that's 4 hours ahead, and 3 if it's a place that's 4 hours behind. So that's how that works. You use this bezel to temporarily calculate a third time zone. Now, if you look carefully, you can see it's sapphire capped, a feature I've always loved on watches from IWC, Bremont, and Blancpain. And so it helps to preserve the luminescent material that's on the bezel, preventing it from getting scratched off. So we have a fully luminescent bezel here. Now we've got both hour hands, the minute hand, and that bifurcated 24-hour reference ring, and you can read it in the dark quite easily. And half of it is bright and half of it is not. And the way this works is the dark side represents the zones where it is mostly dark, and the bright side represents those places where it is mostly light. And so that's your little cue. You can also see that there is a bifurcated scale on the inner bezel that can be used for reading a 24-hour scale off the fixed dial. We also have a lovely, lush, textured green base. Again, the forests and the brush of the Hotaka Mountains in the summer in Nagano Prefecture, outside of the Shinshu Watch Studio. Now you'll also see we've got a power reserve indicator. This is an automatic watch. It's got a 3-day power reserve. The movement is spring drive, which means it is entirely driven mechanically. There is no stepper motor. There are no power capacitors or batteries here. It creates an induced electrical current to activate a quartz oscillator that is the timing organ of the watch and uses an induced electromagnetic force to slow down a governing wheel, which is directly geared to the hands. And so there's no tick, no tock, no stop, no stagger. That is a true smooth gliding hand. It's not a high-frequency hand that looks like a glide. It is a glide. As a result, you have this entirely spring-driven set of hands in a watch that has quartz accuracy. So again, 15 seconds a month. Remember, a mechanical chronometer is -4 + 6 per 24 hours. We've got the second time zone. We've got the date. We've got the power reserve indicator. It's a 30-joule movement, and it is a unique technology you will not find on other brands. Turn around the case back. You can see the Grand Seiko Lion with Media Blast, satination, and polish on the case back. It's a beautifully made watch. And other than that, I would say the detail that I want to highlight is just the quality of the dial furniture. Take a look at the indices. Take a look at the logo. Take a look at the hands themselves. Look at the satin on the top of the hands, and then the razor-sharp mirror fastening on the sides. Same is true of the indices, which have a textured striation on their top, and then a diamond-cut mirrored face on all 4 sides. Grand Seiko dials, along with Rolex, are probably the best in the mainstream luxury class in the industry. Rolex gets there with relentless automation, and Grand Seiko gets there by doing it very slowly and by hand, cutting these pieces manually on micro diamond-tipped milling tools, placing them and caulking them by hand. And that's how Grand Seiko dials are made. And it's why I would say, in terms of pure detail quality, Rolex Grand Seiko, it's a dead heat. But in terms of detail subtlety, Grand Seiko is about a lap ahead in that race. So if you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.